Are we live?
Hi, welcome to Mystic Sisters Tarot reading, Full Moon Monthly. Full Moon in Aquarius with the Sun in Leo. We're about to pick some cards. I have my beautiful sister here, Stevie Love.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Reese, for having me. This is awesome. I'm really excited.
It's an exciting time. I guess we
Yeah,
could start off the reading literally with one angel card because these are amazingly positive and cheesy.
good.
Message from the angels. Okay, I feel like this one wants to come out. Eight of Fire. Oh, interesting. I feel like this is going to be for us personally, but also more for everyone's unconscious on like a collective level. So Eight of
Yeah,
Fire. It says events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once.
like Mystic Sisters.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Like the fruition of Mystic Sisters finally this month because we've been doing so much planning. And there's a
Yeah.
bunch of dragons flying around. There's a lot of colors and rainbows around us. And this is a powerful moon. It's a lunar eclipse too, but you can actually only see it in the southern hemisphere. So in the States, we're not going to be able to see it. So too bad we're not in Thailand right now. But
We're moving to there. The energy wants us to shift there, maybe because of something having to do with being able to see the energy of the eclipse.
interesting, yeah, events. And now all these things coming to fruition at the full moon, we're also planting seeds that are going to like take us there for sure. I'm going to just
Hmm.
show the picture one more time.
Oh, yeah. There you
It's
go.
like,
Wait, right.
you see it, right?
Yeah.
It's blues and oranges. It's really fiery. And yeah, whenever like Eight of Wands comes up in other decks, it does represent travel as well as like higher mind and expansion mentally and philosophically, like learning about different cultures. So usually it's a Sagittarius card.
Beautiful. Reese, literally, when you lifted your hand up like this, I'm looking out my window. You lift your hand up like this, I see like a sparkling fairy cluster just pop out of the woods and pop back in.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what
So,
that's what maybe we're about to do, popping in and out of dimensions for a minute. Or
for
I
real.
feel like in the full moon, or I think it's happening Monday officially, but maybe the layers between dimensions are more thin.
That's what Jay was saying also, actually, even speaking about his ritual, he was talking about blending all the layers because most people, they try to separate themselves, but they all exist. So
That
that's interesting, because no
yeah,
matter where we're all kind of on the same page going through it, different
yeah, I think
reasons.
so too. Like we're all connected and our paths are all crossing and intertwining.
And you're saying that,
That's what
yes,
it,
exactly. That's exactly that's what that looks like. And that's exactly the reading that I pulled out earlier when we were speaking about doing the readings. I pulled out a reading and it literally, that's what I thought of. Everything's connected. The hangman is literally in the middle of these four cards, which are all on different levels. But he's connecting them all together in suspension and coming forward from them because it's actually, if I can go in depth a little bit, it's actually he's representing moving forward from all these past cards. We know what the hangman looks like, and the
yeah.
past, right?
And he
So the
looks
past,
pretty fiery in that deck too, like reds.
yeah, and this is actually, I guess, a generally fiery deck now that you mention it. But the past cards are the Fool upside down, right? Backed by even the Emperor upside down. So, and then followed by that, there's a lot of upside downs because now we're the Fool, we're in suspension, but going to go forward quickly because Judgment is above this. And I think this is indicating in this notion, like I said, these are like past cards, and the Fool is indicating the about to go forward motion. Um, I mean, the Hanged Man. So then you have the Fool upside down because I feel like there's no more of that foolishness and the confusion and the playfulness. Like we know what we want and we're gonna go forward. Um, and then you have the Empress, who's also upside down, but in the past. You know what I mean? And then you have the Page of Wands upside down, but this is the past also. And the Devil right side up in the past. Funny about the Devil being right side up, because actually this is closer to going into the future, and I'm getting wind for confirmation. And also we have the Knight of Pentacles behind the Devil. And I'm sorry if I'm moving fast. I'm going to slow down 1 second. So when I'm looking at this, the Devil is talking about, okay, this old love, this old life, this old maybe reunion coming apart, right, to go its own separate ways. And what I'm getting also from that is to not be afraid of maybe the pains and the struggles and the ugliness that we might have seen or created. Now we know better how to walk through them and to help other people get through them.
Yeah, that's really true. It's like having to go through the hardship and pain exactly to learn our own lessons so that we can evolve and grow and ascend basically and help other people. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And another
usually the Fool upside down will represent like being overly naive. Like the Fool wants you to take a great leap of faith and basically jump off the cliff so the universe can support you. But when it's upside down, it means being a little too foolish and naive, like you didn't have things planned out. And because like the Empress came out upside down and also the Devil, maybe you got stuck overly in material bondage. I mean, like you as in all of us and anyone watching, but yeah. And with the Empress upside down, it's like not being able to access your full creative power too. But that was the past.
That's all in the past. Another thing in the past is the Seven of Cups, which you taught me what that has to do with, what, material illusions or something like this?
Yeah, Seven of Cups has a lot to deal with illusion and basically like having too many choices, too many options, and it has a lot to do with like focusing on the superficial and focusing a lot on the future and not being able to be grounded and basically make tangible progress in the here and now. Like having your head in the clouds and looking at all these sparkly things and not being able to even see what's in front of you. And maybe that habit is what would get people stuck in the Devil, because you think that by being a dreamer and having your head and being like way in your higher chakras, you'll be able to, you know, kind of escape. Like it's a lot about escapism and fantasy, but actually by doing that, you're just getting even more stuck where you're at. So in order to move forward and really expand your energy field, you have to be even more grounded, because the more you expand down through your roots like a tree, the more you can access your higher self also.
Really awesome. And as you're saying expand, I'm feeling like the need to stretch my chest forward. And then it's like, expand, get the shoulders.
Opening your heart. I have some good Lemurian quartz with us. Whoa.
So another thing now that was also in the past, right? We said the Seven of Cups, that's right side up, and also the King of Cups upside down. So yeah, can you explain the King of Cups upside down to us? I feel like you have a good explanation.
I feel like that could be a father figure, and my intuition is just like the patriarchy in general, like kind of being flipped on its head right now, because I mean, it's literally been scientifically proven that the vibrations on the planet are intensifying. So maybe the masculine energy and old structure of things does not really know what to do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right about that. And now let me say that we have Judgment, right, above all the past cards, like looking, and you're coming out of the Judgment free, you know, and it's actually three people. So it's all different. I would say higher physical, lower self, you know, higher mind, body, spirit, all being freed from these past judgments of, let's say, injustice, because justice is upside down behind this card. So that would be the past of your judgment, being freed from your judgment. You see how freeing this card is?
Whoa.
Yeah.
And the horns are trumpeting. Some people are getting sucked down, though. It's important. One of the details, some of them are getting sucked down into the earth, and some are choosing to rise up with the light. So it's really up to each soul what path they're going to take. And look, the woman is looking at the man. In the front, they're getting distracted by each other. So it's going to be an important theme right now not to get distracted by meaningless relationships that drain us.
You're right.
And in the back, he's like choosing his higher self, choosing his own higher path, and to rise up just for himself. He's not trying to impress anyone. He's just doing it. There you go.
Go. Yes. And see, but in the past, we had the Justice flips upside down and the King of Pentacles right side up. So too much looking at money and not looking at the correct way to do things. I think.
That's smart too. Yeah, I could see that. Money is a weird, weird game.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about it right now.
Yes, and then moving into the future, we have activation. So this is us moving into the future.
Wow, that's really good.
See the blue blowing on the red, the fire, right?
To me, that symbolizes like the Aquarius water bear, even like. Aquarius full moon, kind of freeing our minds, clearing our thoughts, and seeing, actually being able to see the path laid out in front of us and what we're each supposed to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like learning to think for ourselves, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and then we have, I guess I'll go through this and then you can go through one and we can do input together for that one.
Sure. I think we could both pick some for the future, like how to move forward after the past, because we've talked a lot about it. I think it's important to acknowledge the past and not dwell on it also.
Yeah, so I have some cards laid out for the future if you want to do that.
Okay.
Like the next card coming forward is emergence. So she's coming out over the past, over the water, and it's the dragonfly card. So it's being rebirth, talking about coming into like the fairy realm, dealing with the angel, and she seems to see through and over kind of the sluggishness in the water into the future. I don't know. What would you say about that?
Something about dragonflies for sure, because every time lately when I've been hiking up in the mountains by myself, and even yesterday when I was live painting, literally dragonflies were coming around me like this close. Orange ones and blue ones specifically, which are throat and sacral, and I feel like throat and sacral are really connected because they are opposite colors on the color wheel, and they have to deal with how we speak and the emotion behind it, like speaking our truth into reality, you know?
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Now, also, I wanted to say, and I forgot about this until just now, when I went outside to get my cards earlier, I literally seen a butterfly and he let me put my finger right up to his feet. He was standing on the bush outside my house and he opened up his wings just to show me that his left wing had a little clip in it, like he had been burned or something. What kind of symbolism, like what would you take that as?
His wing had been burned?
Yeah,
Well,
it looked like a
probably. His wing was clipped, right? So in the past, your wings were clipped, not being able to fly free. But look, right behind you now on your right shoulder, right symbolizes the future. You have all these butterflies flying free. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh
Oh,
my-
and you know what's really funny about that? The pirate's mom has the same thing in blue. And you know what's really weird? I found that like just a couple of weeks, or no, a week before, or like 2 weeks before I left Chris's house, which is, and ended up like right outside his house. That's why, because his neighbors was throwing it away.
Well,
Like the universe, here's your next step. But mine is golden. His mom's is blue, has the blue brush off. Mine has gold brush off. Very interesting.
that is, I'm going to reorient for the light. Okay, make it better. I'm
Yeah.
having to like rotate as the reading goes on.
Rotate, girl, rotate.
That goes back to the Eight of Fire with all of these paths like intertwining and interconnecting. Like I feel like there's just so much going on right now on multiple levels on the planet that from our physical shoes we can't really see, but something in our higher mind and our intuition will like understand. And I feel like we have to really just feel it in our body and in our hearts. And okay, so the lunar eclipse, that's where the balance between Aquarius and Leo comes, because Leo's like really grounded in their heart versus Aquarius is just like very brainiac, sometimes like out of touch with the physical experience. So it's good to balance those two.
Yeah, definitely.
Like interpersonal relationships too.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So
Aquarius, super future oriented. I'm gonna leave out this one. Maybe pick some more from my decks for future. Did you finish reading the ones you had for future?
no, I intro for the future with the emergence and activation, and I think that you can do some future, and then I'll come through with my future.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick a couple from the traditional. This is the Order of the Golden Dawns Tarot. I love the back on it. It freaking has a Merkaba. Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I've been reading for a lot of people, so I'm gonna clear the deck definitely. Okay.
Good.
Oh wow. Okay. Judgment again.
Mm-hmm.
And in this deck,
Wow.
it's like Okay, I keep picking this for a lot of people I read for lately, and you literally picked it for the past, and now that it's coming for the future, it's like judgment time is not over, and I feel like we're just being called to come out of our coffins, and this to me symbolizes like the individual cages, specifically like mental cages that we've built for ourselves, to come by the purifying fire, because the upward triangle symbolizes fire, and basically ascend to the higher realms. And it's not really like wishy-washy or woo-woo thinking. It's like literally a higher way of being, a higher way of like understanding our physical experience by expanding our own minds. And in order to come out of our coffins, we have to do our own inner work. And a lot of it is forgiveness, like forgiveness of the past is what always comes up with the judgment card for me. And yeah, every time somebody's feeling kind of stagnant or blocked in their lives, it's like you have to do more forgiveness work in order to move forward, and also obviously letting go of old habits to move forward. And in this case, I'm getting like old mental patterns and old ways of thinking about and experiencing yourself and the world in order for you to rise up. And what happens when we do? Okay, wow. Whoa, that's really weird. I literally get the foolish man, then the Princess of Cups, and then the devil, which is
So
kind of,
basically,
it's kind of freaky because it's literally what you just picked for the past.
I was thinking that, and you know what? I was gonna say it, but I didn't. But as soon as you pulled Judgment, I was like, she's gonna pull all the same cards. Maybe like the deal is like we just pull the same cards if we pull cards. Like, and then you're gonna pull all the same future cards because maybe like since it just is gonna come out that way.
Um, I don't know. I feel intuitively like we're still going to be being tested on the same lessons, but the card, like, okay, foolish man though, but he came out upright. So it's like, it is different that he didn't come out reversed, because he
Oh, right.
now is in the beginning of a new journey. And also, like, our two cards are different, so we can see what the different themes are. So I'm
Yeah,
getting like he is on a new journey. Basically, like Uranus is the ruler for Aquarius. So he's having like an enlightenment experience and seeing things in a new way. It is an air card in my deck. And like I said, it wants you to take a leap of faith in the unknown, but maybe now using all of the lessons and pain we went through in the past. And the devil is like, we're still going to be being tested on the same like physical carnal issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
at the
do know.
same time, the card that did come out different was Princess of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we are needing to integrate our feminine aspects more and learning to trust our intuition and our feelings, and really allowing ourselves to feel what we feel and not getting too stuck in our logical minds about the experience.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You're saying that I'm being 5 and I found lipstick, and you were like, feel what you feel, and I was like, oh, I guess I feel like I should put this on, so maybe that's what I should do.
And then afterwards, we're being
I was,
tested with the devil card, and what happens after that?
hmm?
Death. Okay. So another really powerful transformation card.
Good.
Whoa. Death, the High Priestess, and the Hanged Man. These
Good.
are
I'm
all
just
water cards. And as we're talking about allowing ourselves to feel what we have to feel and like experiencing it authentically, it's literally 3 water cards coming out.
which is beautiful. And on top of that, I'm getting to pull this card out right now. Like it's been sitting here, but I just wanted to just show the love and compassion card because the heart now is like in between the two people coming together and bringing together their differences, letting themselves really truly feel. And they have the water surrounded by them, and it looks like the sun is also in there shining through the heart.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So anyway, explain your cards if you can, if you want. I would like to hear that.
That is really cool. Well, Death and the High Priestess are both looking to the left, which represents looking towards the past. And then the Hanged Man is like at a still point. So I'm getting really going within and incubating before making any rash decisions, basically. We are gonna continue to be tested as usual. Like life will keep testing you until you learn the lesson and actually raise up.
Yeah. No, it's true, and I keep, even for my own self, keep getting presented, like you say, with these same situations, these same men, even over and over again. Just like maybe one's a little different, or like the problem's just slightly less, or something, or slightly more, depending on what I asked for. Because I came out of one situation like, oh, he was too nice, and I need someone who's like less nice, then he was too mean. And I was like, I need someone in between, but now this person in between isn't healthy, and none of them are healthy. So I need someone who's in between and healthy, and I just need me. But it's like, what do I learn? Oh, hold on. Am I still there? Are you still there?
You're back.
What do I learn? Everything turns off, right? What do I learn? Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
me. So what do I learn? I learned that I'm not supposed to like engage with these people on any level other than communicative until like we're all on the same page, I think,
Yeah, I think so too. And okay, because of the way they came out, like Death, not just for you, but you're sharing your story, so it's like an example, basically going to be going through a very intense transformative period, and you're going to have to shed your old skin and old ways of being and then rise back up like the phoenix. Yeah, this is for everybody though, and it's like, okay, maybe it does have to do with relationships too, because this skull is smashing another person's skull right now.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? If people aren't what we need them to be, like, doesn't that happen? Don't we get so frustrated that we can smash their skull? Or like, doesn't, like, if they're holding us back, isn't that almost like they're smashing our skull? Like, so either way.
Something like that. Something like that. And the High Priestess, she's looking at Death. She's on her throne and she's looking at Death. And okay, she has these beautiful pillars around her and white light streaming down, but all sneaking up behind her, she has this little black thing, which means that she's gone through the unconscious and the dark side and the mysteries as well. So that's where she gains her wisdom and her power from, because she's so pure and purified and powerful, but don't think that means she hasn't gone through the underworld as well. And she's looking at him, but she's not, she's still sitting on her throne and not like being moved or swayed or really influenced by him. It's just like, okay, I see you, and that's it. I see what I need to see. And then after that, seeing what you need to see by what's going around you in your life, it's like the hangman.
Yeah. Because then you're kind of like in that middle place.
Yeah, exactly. And with the hangman, it's a lot about martyrdom, and it's a lot about like being flipped upside down. And the way you see things doesn't agree with the way that other people in your life might see them. But usually it means like you're right and you're just like that ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Next, I actually I have the Two of Wands out. Okay, so you see this more going towards the future, maybe even higher self, because these are so watery, and feminine. And you were saying even in the future we're opening up the feminine energy more and trying to find the balance between them. So I think that my past cards were pretty masculine earlier, and these were coming into the future of the feminine and the psychic world more.
Well, we're doing the reading.
Hi. Run away, Calvin. We don't want to see you. We're kidding. Hi.
Oh my God, you see him on the screen. He's in there.
I know, I never see him.
What's up, what's up?
You're on YouTube right now. We're live streaming, so get out of it. Good job.
Okay, so Yeah, so we have the Two of Wands, and this woman is excited but bashful. And like the way that her robe is compared to the other robes is very interesting to me because it's like not as sensual or expressive. It's more like, okay, so in the beginning of going into our future, right, we're shy, we're bashful, we don't know what's coming up next. Even though we have an idea, see, this whole world almost is behind her. But she's not expressive yet. She's like feeling shy to express herself.
Oh yeah, but there are irises all around her, which represent like third eye also, and the disc around her to me looks like illumination. Like expanding your mind.
It's like she knows what's up, but she's not sure what to do yet. And she does have all these flowers on her head telling me, in a way, like nature has got her, you know. But she still has this innocence, like not sure what to do or where to tread. And I think that that's because she's learned a lot from her past and she doesn't want to bring that same pain forward.
Yeah, and also because like the ones that just came out, we know we are going to be tested again, and I think it's important to be aware of that. And she's prepared, but she's a little bit like cautious.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, so the next card that comes out now, is the King of Pentacles upside down. This is what it looks like right side up. You see this woman's clawing away from the father figure, right?
Well,
Yeah, she's like in their sexual life, like, oh, I don't need you. But it's upside down now, and I think she's thinking differently about her own sensuality and his. And we were talking about merging the masculine and feminine together. So this could have something to do with that.
that's really interesting. It's important that she's like a little bit above him and trying to fly away while he's just like sitting there and kind of holding on to her.
Yeah, and he like doesn't care that she's even trying to fly away. He's still gonna be there. So that could be something that either is holding you back or that you're not letting yourself open up to.
Well,
Because it almost looks like since it's upside down, like maybe she's not in the same clawing away situation anymore, like maybe there's some kind of settling going on for her. Like a freedom, because that could really go either way, but it does seem like she has growing to do. So like, but it's also like in my head initially, the first thing I'm thinking is like there's a sensuality that she's not connecting to, right, in this card. And also maybe it creates a fear, so she wants to run away from something that he's trying to bring her. Because being sensual, sometimes it does include the opposite sex. So after that, I have the Pentacles. And as we're talking about merging the opposite sex, Calvin walks in. He's like right beforehand. He's like, just so you guys know, you're about to talk about
oh my
god. Good job. Okay, so then followed by, now we have the Eight of Pentacles, right? And this woman is looking at a painting, a castle, something that she's created, and she's looking at it differently. Wow, she's really sensual here with her gold robe. So like maybe there's something that we've created that we haven't been sure about, or like looking at, right? She's almost like looking at the past or something like this, and she's looking at it with new eyes, and she's seeming more warm.
She looks a little self-absorbed also.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's really golden. That's an important color.
Yeah. And she's very sexy, and those leaves in her hair remind me of holly. Even though it doesn't exactly look like holly, it reminds me of it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Which Eight of Pentacles?
Yeah.
Usually that just means like building up your skill, building up your trade, your craft, and like keeping on practicing, keeping on working at it. And eight's like, it's double four, so it is like a number of stability, but it's also like the infinity number. So it kind of means like your potential is unbounded and you can really take your expression or your projects, your creative projects, wherever you want to go. And it is really good because it's like a physically tangible card. Obviously it's the Pentacles suit. So I'm just getting like keep working at it, and usually it does mean like some recognition will be involved,
Which is really interesting because we just had the King of Pentacles upside down. So then we get to your Eight of Pentacles right side up. So the pentacles right next to each other. Okay, so maybe no more relying on anybody else either, you know, being able to rely on ourselves and our craft.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
and so next, now you have I have 2 more cards, maybe 3, but I think I'll do 2, let you do a couple, and then I'll read the third one as like a final card feeling. Okay, so then we have the 7 of Chalices, which comes up.
Well,
Now she's admiring something far in, like almost in the distance, coming up though, and it's beautiful to her. And she's not really having to look at herself, even though she knows herself. She has all these birds dancing, looking in the mirror behind her. Do you ever see birds dance in a mirror? I never noticed these birds before. Oh, well, when I was in my old room, I had this mirror outside my room with this branch in front of it that I just threw in there, and it ended up like being this bird's place. And they would sit and dance, and it was really funny. One day, I made a video about this. It reminded me of me and Terrence. You know how our heads go. But one day, I'm watching this video, and there's this like male bird, and he's all puffed up, and he's dancing at himself in the mirror, like, "I look so beautiful. I look so good. Why can't I mate myself?" And the girl bird was like, "He is so beautiful. He looks so good. Why can't I mate him?" And then she starts looking at herself because she's trying to get it, you know, like me, like with him doing all his training and me trying to be like, well, how do I do that? So, right? And so then she starts looking in the mirror and she's like, okay, yeah, I look good. Are you done yet? Like she looks at him like, is this over yet? It's really funny. Like, can we get together yet? And he's like, no, I'm not done. I still gotta train. I still gotta figure out me. And I'm like, and the bird's like, okay, I guess I'll try. Anyway, so this is reminding me of, so maybe she doesn't have to do that bird dance anymore, you know? And maybe she can admire something outside of herself coming up, and maybe it's coming up just for her. And actually, the next card I'm going to say is her future self, and that's what she's admiring, because it's not the now self. You know what I mean? It's not like all this work that you have to do to get to where you're going to go. That's so important, even though the now self really matters. You know that you have the future coming up, wow, which is totally beautiful. Okay. And the future, we have the 7 of Wands.
Well,
yeah, look at this future self, this lady eating these grapes. She's kind of in control. She has that air energy that she's in control of, so that psychic awareness. Maybe she knows what's coming up next. You know, she's been through the deep waters of the chalices. And
look what I got.
Ah, cool! That's really cool. Good job, Calvin.
That's cute.
So, yeah. So I love this future. It's really good.
I like that though. 7 of Cups. In the other decks, it seems like illusions and fantasies. In this one, it seems like exactly looking at her future self, looking at her higher self. Basically, being allowed to step into your own path and your own destiny and like your higher calling I'm getting from that card.
Yeah, because even though, right, in some decks it's like illusion and fantasy, in this deck it seems like, right, it's okay for her to have a little daydream because she knows about what's coming. She knows what she's worked for. In the card previously, she was working for something. You know?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. These cards resonate with me for sure.
I know. These are the Mystic. This is the Mystic Sisters deck.
Okay. Let me pick one from the Elemental Tarot, and maybe like 2 angel cards. Advice for, and I'm gonna pick them not for like anyone personally, but just like how to move forward on a collective level, spiritually, basically, or energies for the full moon in general. Okay.
Good idea.
Well, okay. So I said I'm just gonna pick one, but like I feel like 3 needed to come out. The most important one is the moon, which, you know, it's perfect for the full moon. But if you look at it in this deck, it's a mask and it's all about illusions. And it says, I am the one whose image is great, and I am the one who has no image, which is really interesting. There's like a Stonehenge block on it. So usually the moon is about illuminating past lives, but I'm getting, yeah, illuminating the unconscious, but I'm getting illuminating past lives, and kind of like that 7 of Cups mirror, card you just got, holding up our own mirror to ourselves and basically shining the light on ourselves and seeing what's like back behind us, what's holding us back maybe. And the way we present ourselves to the world. And it's the 9 card though, so it's the opportunity to spiral up out of that darkness. And then next to it is Son of Fire. So this is something about intimate relationships because there's the lovers on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about passion and spiritual realm and purification. There are pyramids, so it's kind of about higher consciousness, but at the same time, there is the earth and they are like below it. So it seems like it's on another planet. Some kind of information, like off-world information, some kind of higher realm maybe, like, okay,
and it almost
understanding. Yeah.
I just almost reminds me of that they're triumphing over this love and passion. Like, so regardless of them having this love and passion, underneath this wall, it looks almost like they're in the water, but they're on fire. But then it's like they have this horse and the angel, and so like this passion is like they're triumphing over it in like some way. Like, so no matter what they're doing together, they have their own things that they're like, wow. So they're like on 1, 2, 3, 4 dimensions at once. It looks like if you count the people under the water, the 2 pyramid people, and then the horse and the person, and then the earth.
That is really true. You know what this could represent though, because they are on the earth, it could represent like the underworld and how sometimes we'll go into these lower dimensions inside of ourselves and maybe getting stuck in like lust and passion and illusionary relationships, and now it's like the angel and the higher self is calling him to rise up out of that for his own path. And I'm only saying that because it comes next to the moon card.
Yeah.
And this is like you're holding a mask up and it's showing through.
Well, that makes so much sense because even the moon card is blue, and the only spot that's really blue is like where they're underwater, the earth realm, and the angel's body.
Yeah, so that in blue represents truth. So the truth is coming through about our relationships this month. And once we kind of detach from our relationships, we get the Emperor card.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which it's kind of playful and childlike in this deck, and I feel like it's, you know, growing into who you're meant to be, maturing a bit maybe, but there are doves all around him which represent peace, I think, like mental peace after maybe, because this one, I mean, it is beautiful and passionate, but it does seem a little bit chaotic to me, like there's a lot going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And after maybe breaking free of that, you're able to build your stability and your structure for yourself.
Wow, yeah.
And red is like root chakra healing, in my opinion.
And it's funny, yeah, you're saying breaking free, and I'm looking down at these 2 cards, trying to figure out what they meant for the second time or third time that I've looked at them. I haven't understood yet.
Yeah.
And I looked down, you say breaking free, and I had just thought that, okay, this is like a breaking free of that feeling of needing other people. You know what I mean? Because you see how they're like leaning on each other, but it doesn't look neat. It doesn't look organized. It's like,
yeah, it looks kind of messy.
Yeah, but it's upside down now in the very future. Wow. And followed by this drunken singing to statues. So like maybe like worshiping other people, things outside of ourselves, like that lovingness for, you know, relationships that aren't things that aren't you. You know, it's like almost
basically this.
Exactly. So right in the very future, these 2 cards for us are upside down. So maybe, I don't know where you're reading them for right now that we're getting over them.
Yeah, it is for the future. I mean, the way they came out, though, is Son of Fire, then the Moon, then the Emperor. So it's like right now for people in general, getting lost and getting tangled in this kind of confusion. And it's like he looks like a conqueror, though. It's positive in my opinion because it's like you're conquering the hurdles and you're getting over it, and you are rising up, ascending back with the earth and coming with your spiritual mission. Then the Moon card came out. So it was like this was in the past. He's now coming through the moon portal, which is going to be on Monday. It's going to be the eclipse. So our emotional bodies will be like eclipsed, you know? Then after that, it's the Emperor, and you land kind of into a whole new realm. Like, I love how the sky is the color of the sky is different in all of these cards. So to me, it represents like a totally different mental atmosphere. So it's like jumping, leaping through into a new phase of your life. And this one is a really sunny, positive outcome card. Maybe I'll pick one more angel card to see what goes with the mood of that.
Yeah, I feel like something needs to be shuffled and I don't have it.
I have it. Ooh, King of Fire. Okay. This is perfect. So, wow. Okay, so something about the masculine, I'll just show the card first. King of Fire. Yeah. And notice how he's on his own dragging now. So in the past, he's just the sun, which in this deck is princes, right? So he doesn't really have his own kingdom yet. And it's like a weakened, immature, masculine energy getting distracted, and he's only on a horse. And yeah, he has wings and he's beautiful, but he doesn't really look like he's in charge, and he doesn't have that much power because he's been giving it away to other people. And then after the moon portal, he evolves into the king. It's interesting that they're facing each other. I mean, it could represent battle, but I don't really think so. I think in this card, it just means he's a lot more evolved. His dragon is like all scaly and basically ornate. He's leveled up,
I love,
you know?
yeah, he loves.
And okay, perfect. King of Fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, charismatic. It tells us focus, 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 communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Okay. So basically focus on our goals and where we want to go and making them happen for ourselves rather than getting lost in things that don't really serve us is what I'm getting.
Right, and I think that the fact that they're coming together is more like almost like a merging or an understanding or even a reflection of each other.
Yeah.
Like he, because it doesn't seem like he wants to battle. He's just like, look where you can be and where I am and where I was. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like a message from an angel. It's like a spirit guide coming through, asking us all to kind of embody that and know that we can all become that too in our own lives.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Good. And I feel like I have a final outcome card. That's what I want to say about this. And it's the only card, the whole deck. I wanted to go get this whole freaking deck. I couldn't find it. From the Dark Moon Tarot. Okay, and I love this card. Look, it's the full moon, right? Final outcome is what we're talking about. And he's just floating away with all his swords away from this burning past, right on the earth. Look, you were just talking about like getting rid of.
Whoa. So he was below the earth, and now yours ascends above the earth. That's perfect.
Yeah, and it's the Six of Swords. And he's going on to new territory. Can you tell us anything about the Six of Swords, Ree?
Yeah, Six of Swords is usually like, in the Rider-Waite, it's like this woman on a boat with swords around her, and it's like you've been feeling mentally trapped or down in the past, especially oppressed by your situation or oppressed by other people around you, and now you're taking the boat and traveling, and that could represent literal travel because he is in a hot air balloon too, but mostly just like mental retreat and mental travels, you know, taking a retreat for yourself and clearing your own head and seeing what's really right for you and your path, like taking back your own power. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. We love you though. Okay, so anyway, yeah, and this card really, I just want to show it again because it's so funny to me. Like the first time I actually seen this card and then I understood it, I laughed so hard because look at this little creepy guy, right? He's so funny. He's like, I'm out of here. He's like, fuck this. Literally, I have to curse about it because that's how I feel. He's like leaving it behind. He doesn't give a shit. Like,
yeah.
Who's this?
But
who this?
If everybody does that for themselves, then we can actually ascend and all help each other. Versus if we're all constantly needy and needing each other's help, we're all just weakening each other, you know?
And sticking to the past, like the way things were, is not going to be the way things are. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, it can't. One has to move forward and grow and evolve and get in their own freaking pirate ship, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you have, well, you are, you know, you have your Merkaba, you have your body, you have your soul. That's your ship, your spirit ship. You know, and your spaceship. This is the space that you embody. And the only thing that you really have at the end of the day is that. So you have to learn how to be with it, within it, know how to control the waters around it. Even when it gets rocky, you know how to keep balance and not lean on other boats, because then all the boats are going to tip.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. I like that blue lipstick.
Thank you. I literally pulled it out of my bag and I was like, I'm going to put this on. But then after I put it on, like, because you said that I should do what I feel.
Yeah.
Because I was literally thinking if it would be too much or too weird to do it in the middle of the video, maybe. But then I did it. And actually, I always feel like after I put makeup on, I'm like, I looked better without it. But it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah. I guess that's about it. I don't know. Do we need any closing cards, or I think we're good?
I think we're good. I think we did good. Maybe we can recap how we feel and then let it go and close it up and thank everybody for coming.
Yeah, basically just, yeah, feeling what we have to feel, because the moon is going to bring up emotions and tests and things in our unconscious mind, basically. And we are going to be tested again, but once we pass those, it's like that last card, being stable in our own ship and being able to kind of be free and navigate towards where we want to go in life. Yeah, and that freedom is the most precious thing, at least to me. And that's what Aquarius energy always brings, like expansion, freedom, detachment.
Yeah. And now I pick up this rock that you gave me. Whoa. Did you see that?
Whoa.
Oh my God. Did you see that?
Yeah, your aura.
Is that what's happening? I just seen like a green light flash in the corner of my picture. Okay. So I'm sorry. Now I'm like, are you coming back? It just keeps coming back. Okay. So I pick up this rock. I just haven't seen it the whole video, so now I'm distracted and I don't know what I was gonna say. But I pick up this rock and it just makes me feel like super grounded, super strong, and it's reminding me to be able to take this lower energy that sometimes we deem as dirty, not good, get it away, be able to lift it up, right? Keep lifting it up into our heart's chakras. And then once we get to the heart, we have to lift it up through the head into the heavens, like to our star, to our highest star, because now we can close our eyes and root our feet down, to the center of the earth. And then in the center of the earth, we can imagine a stone of whatever color and shape we have. This is so important. This is one of the first things I learned with Reiki. And I want to say it right now. But imagine our roots around that rock, pulling up all that energy, right, to our center bodies. Because sometimes we feel really heavy down at our lower chakra. For me, I get this like stuck feeling sometimes, like, come on. So we just have to remember to be able to root down, but also pull that root up through the heart, through the throat, through the third eye to the stars, right? And then almost like in between that, because at the bottom where the rock is, there's going to be some water and streams, and then at the top where the stars are, there's fire and sun, right? It's like you imagine they come down together at the solar plexus and get this like electrocuting feeling, and that's just what's going to keep your energy going. And that's just an idea and a visual of how that we should be molding both worlds, the top and the bottom, coming to be in our higher self and bringing our lower self up at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Whatever though. But yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Reese. I really appreciate you going through the trouble of learning how to do this so we could do this.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we finally did it, and I think we should keep doing it every full moon at least.
Yeah, at least. Now I want to do it tomorrow. No, next week.
I know, right? New moon and full moon, though.
New moon and full moon. Isn't that like only a week apart, or is that?
That's 2 weeks apart.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So, good. So this is full moon, and then new moon. We'll do another one.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, keep an eye out.
Yeah. I think I can stop the broadcast, and then it will still leave you on it, but I could just stop doing live. So I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Do it. Oh, I actually have a question. Before we actually stop the broadcast, do we, in the future, how are we going to advertise so that people know that we're coming? Should you do like some Instagram advertise? Oh, look out, me and Reese are going to go live, and I'll do Facebook?
Yeah, I should do that.
Do that.
Exactly.
All right. Good. I like that. This is good. My brother literally, before we turn it off also, because this is magic, my brother literally last night, I'm pretty sure, or the day before, but I'm pretty sure it was last night, he was saying that I need to do this. He's like, I don't know what you're going to talk about, but you and your friends need to do a video.
There you go. That goes back to that card I pulled in the beginning. I put it back by now, but it's like everybody's paths spiraling around each other. It's really cool.
And maybe I should show the reading, like, because literally you say everybody's paths spiraling around each other, and that's what the reading looks like. Tell me if you can see all the cards.
Whoa. Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a spiral? Like what is that? The helix or something?
Looks like something. It's a lot of cards.
Yeah, but so it's like the two like outside and then the two in the middle bringing everything together like. All right.
Well, that was fun. Awesome. Thanks for watching, people. Tune in next month.
Bye.